Hey people, it is Monday, September the 18th, and the time is 4:40 in the afternoon. It's currently 19 degrees Celsius, and quite overcast with what looks like rain, even though the forecast before I left said 0% chance of rain throughout the rest of the afternoon. That goes to show how much you can trust these hourly forecasts. But I am currently walking along St. Mary Street, heading into the University of Toronto campus. This is the eastern side of the campus. The bulk of the campus lies west of here, and I'll be making my way from here over to that main part of the campus where we'll be walking all around to check out the activity now that classes are back in session for the new school year. The U of T is the largest and most prestigious university in Canada, and often ranked in the top 20 or 25 top universities in the world. And it's a mix of beautiful old 19th century historic buildings with modern additions mixed in a tasteful way. And it's literally integrated right into the urban fabric of the downtown area. In some areas, you're not sure if you're just walking along a regular downtown street or if you're actually walking through the campus. And there are something like 65,000 students enrolled at U of T. There are a couple of satellite campuses, one in Mississauga and one in Scarborough, that account for some of that population. But I think the main downtown campus here, called the St. George campus, which is where we're heading, has over 40,000 students, so it's still very large for one single campus in the middle of a large city. And this more eastern part of the campus we're currently walking through is called Victoria College. And magnificent building here, the main building here. So I guess this part of the campus is called Victoria University, and this building is called Victoria College. And you can see what is located here. I find a lot of walks through the U of T often leave out this side of the campus, which I think is definitely worth a look at. This was once a separate institution from the U of T, and then they combined together under the greater umbrella of the University of Toronto. So let's make our way across Queen's Park into the main part of the St. George campus. And we'll see how busy it's looking on this Monday afternoon. I have a feeling it might not be as busy as another day of the week, such as a Tuesday or Wednesday. This building is called Emmanuel College.
Yeah, I'm getting to the station now. I feel droplets. Okay. I'll finish the article at home.
And there are some very light raindrops falling. Officially making that hourly forecast completely incorrect. 0% is 0%, you know. They could have said 1%, and I would have been okay, 1%. It's crossing Queen's Park. there is the actual Queen's Park right there. Jackman Law Building.
No, yeah, I think he is actually.
I think medicine and law are two of the most well-known and sought-after programs here at the U of T. It's also well known for its computer science program, although University of Waterloo is probably thought of as the top university for computer science and engineering. U of T is definitely no slouch in those areas.
We will get back to this in the morning.
Very highly regarded as well. Alright, so here's Hoskin Avenue. This is where we begin walking into the heart of the St. George campus. And St. George Street is one of the main streets running through the campus, as is this one. This eventually becomes Harbord Street. Same street, different name. And I'd say those two streets together are the two main streets running through campus. I think U of T was founded in the first half of the 19th century. The exact year is escaping me right now, so I won't take a guess, but maybe in the video I'll just put in a subtitle with the exact year of the founding of the university. In any case, it's very old for Canadian standards, of course. About as old as the city of Toronto itself, I believe. Alright, let's take a walk south here. So we're going to cross Hoskin Avenue. And some very light rain is starting to fall again. And that's Trinity College, if I didn't mention. One of the most beautiful buildings on campus. I just heard a hawk. There it is right up there. There's a hawk flying over the U of T. There's one of the athletic fields. The Art Museum of the University of Toronto. Hart House. I like these little archways you can walk through, such as over here, and of course this one we're about to walk through. They give off that sort of Ivy League vibe to them, as does most of this campus, really. It often does stand in for one of the big Ivy League US universities in movies and TV shows. And there's actual ivy, as you can see. And this is called the Soldiers Tower. Cornerstone was laid in 1919, so quite old. Of course, there are many buildings on campus older, but I'd say it ranks up there. It's definitely one of the more historic structures on campus. And the clock is actually working, which is always nice. So this area has been under construction for years, and it's finally starting to take shape. Where it looks walkable and pleasant once again, not a bunch of fenced off areas and partially dug up stretches of ground with the dirt everywhere. That's how it's looked for a number of years now. And up ahead it still is like that. The work continues, laying down the stones for the new walkways. I'll have to look at some before and after pictures to try to remember how this all looked before. It seemed to me it looked quite nice before, but I'm sure it'll look much nicer now. And it looks like this has finally been returned to a green space. This was just a huge hole in the ground for the longest time. They're building underground parking here underneath the big green centerpiece. I'm not sure exactly what this is called, but this was a hole in the ground with piles of dirt for several years. It's nice to see that it's finally looking like it used to look before construction began. And of course, students would lounge and play frisbee and have picnics and relax, take breaks, all of the above. It's always a busy spot. I'm sure they're looking forward to that opening up again. I think some students completed their entire degree here without even having access to this area over the last 3 or 4 years. I think that is King's College, because this area around the green space is called King's College Circle. wonder if all this fencing will be down before the snow comes, hopefully. Be a shame to not have this available before the cold weather sets in. There's Knox College over in this direction. I think this awesome structure up ahead is Convocation Hall. There are walkways taking you over to St. George Street in that direction, which is sort of like one of the two main streets through campus. I'll take us over to St. George Street a bit later. You can see how the towers of the Bloor Yorkville neighborhood and beyond are just a stone's throw from campus, really. Here comes more rain. And this is called Alumni Plaza here. And you can see some of the alumni engraved in all of these different tiles here. Thousands of them. I think this is one of my favorite buildings on campus. It's hard to choose just one. There are so many awesome ones. And here's probably my favorite vista, looking straight down with the CN Tower. I guess this is a functioning street for vehicles, although oftentimes students just walk along in the middle of the street. See some of the more modern buildings mixed in with the old ones. Sanford Fleming building. I think this will also take you over to St. George Street. Looks like somebody's getting kicked off of campus here up ahead. There's the engineering building across the street.
You guys set that up, you fucking stole. Stealing from everybody here. Wake the fuck up. Time to snap the fuck out of it. Don't fucking smile. You're in shit. Look, buddy. My fucking glasses.
Rather unhinged individual.
Every single one of those.
Lassonde Mining Building.
No, I'm not.
So here is College Street. This is the southern boundary of the campus. And you can see one of the main entranceways is marked here, so you know that you're definitely entering the campus. Welcome to U of T. So St. George Street is just up ahead, and we'll take a walk north along there. There's another look north up King's College Road, which is the street we just walked down. I think that is King's College terminating this view. And the angry guy is coming this way, so I have no doubt he would freak out if he saw me recording him, so I'll just keep moving. I'd rather not have to deal with a dingus in this video. And here's a map of the campus. You can see how absolutely huge it is. It's almost a small city in its own right.
Much closer. You don't have to go like make it us. No, I was trying to
Relax.
It actually is quite busy. Busier than I was expecting it to be. The Wahlberg Building. No affiliation with Mark Wahlberg, I'm sure. If you want that, you have to go to Wahlburgers in the entertainment district.
No, I'm gonna use this one.
on Monday. My brain was like.
All right, so here's where St. George Street begins. Another look down at the tower. So if I had to choose any one street which I would consider the main street, I guess it would be this one, more so than Harvard Street.
Google Maps doesn't tell you that. It's just like, oh, it comes in the right time.
And you have to walk. No, he put the name.
Lots of beautiful buildings all along here. I guess this is sort of like rush hour here on campus right now. That's looking back to where we were before, in your convocation hall.
We didn't stop before the white line.
Let's cross to the other side. The Bahan Center for Information Technology. And there's a busy bike lane all along St. George Street. And here's where all the food trucks line up.
About the determined.
Some of them are closed up already. They could be making good business now if they're open. And I believe that's the tallest academic building on campus. I think it's the Physical Sciences Tower. And the campus does extend over to Spadina Avenue to the west. And going north, it extends up to Bloor Street.
English. Bro.
This one was just called the Blue Truck. Fries, onion rings, poutine, hot dogs, all the classics. So that tall building is actually referred to as the Burton Tower. McLennan Physical Laboratories. Can't really see it through the trees, but we got to look at it earlier anyway. And I have to say, it smells very good here walking through Food Truck Row along St. George Street. The rain is starting to come down a bit harder now. This hourly forecast has really let me down. So this is becoming a bit of a rain walk through the U of T campus, which is not what I was expecting to be doing. cross back over. So this is the walkway that'll take you back over to the area I walked through earlier. At least this side of the street has lots of trees to provide cover from the rain. We're walking past some residence buildings now. And this one goes right through. Let's take a peek in here. If I see an archway, I walk through it. I think the rain is letting up again. It's quite sporadic. Very nice mature trees. I'm sure some of these trees are rivaling the university itself in their age. Some of the especially thick trunked ones, such as right over there. Howard Ferguson Dining Hall, Bissell House. The trees are awesome here. And the rain has stopped now. Here's that athletic field again, this time from the other side. And an even better view of the Bloor Yorkville skyline is what I'm trying to say. Now the clouds over there don't look threatening. Alright, let's head back up this way. I think this will take us back to St. George again. Helen Gardner Phelan Playhouse. University College Union. And as the Eurythmics would say, here comes the rain again. Morrison Hall. One of the less attractive newer additions to campus, in my opinion. There are a few clunkers, of course, but most of the modern buildings on campus are quite nice, in my opinion. They don't cheap out in their materials usually. And someone who seems oblivious to the fact that there's a bike lane right here. He'd rather weave through hordes of students walking along the sidewalk. I guess he's meeting this person, but even so. Doesn't make it okay just because he's making a delivery for him to come up and ride on the sidewalk, in my opinion. And this is where Hoskin Avenue becomes Harvard. And there's the monumental Robarts Library. Probably the most massive building on campus by far. One of the biggest library buildings in North America, I believe. Built in the brutalist style. There was a dedicated rare book library, though. You can see how this building can be both loved and hated. And this one over here, this wing is where the Rare Book Library is located. Another food delivery guy on the sidewalk. More food trucks. As you can see, this library just goes on and on. I think I read there are over 10 million items in this building available to the students. The Rotman School of Management. So I'll take us up to Bloor Street, which, as I mentioned, is the northern boundary. I figured since we walked along a bit of College to the south, we might as well go up to Bloor in the north. I didn't go all the way over to Spadina in the west, though. But to be honest, there's not a whole lot going on along that stretch of Spadina in terms of activity.
My dad wasn't that educated.
There is one really awesome building, though, the Daniels Building on Spadina there, where the architecture school is located. And this is where you start to see some fraternity houses appearing. There are active fraternities and sororities on campus, if that's your thing. I think this was a fraternity house. It's all boarded up now. Maybe they partied too hard. Partied the house to death, maybe. So here's Bloor Street. Looks like they're improving the bike lanes along this part of Bloor Street. Bringing them more up to a fully protected bike lane. So there's still campus buildings along this part of Bloor.
The summer park.
Monk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy. And here's the main stadium of campus here, Varsity Stadium. Can't get up close though due to the construction. Varsity Stadium was actually downsized. It used to have a much bigger capacity in years past.
Fried rice. Yeah.
It's also been the site of some notable concerts over the years, including the Rock and Roll Revival concert with John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band.
Yeah. When is that happening?
This is quite the detour here. This probably happens a lot. People who don't know where they're going. TELUS Center for Performance and Learning. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
That's right, Doc.
And another one of my most favorite buildings, the Royal Conservatory of Music here. This building appeared in a recent episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds as a place where a young Khan Noonien Singh was kept in seclusion. Just a brief geek moment there. So from this point on, the U of T presence along Bloor Street comes to an end here, but you can always get back down to the heart of campus through Philosopher's Walk. So this will take us back down to Hoskin Avenue, right by Queen's Park.
That's the one on the bottom.
And this is the backside of the Royal Ontario Museum, the old historic wing. This is another great spot to get away from it all.
You would think you would know. How do you not?
Edward Johnson building. And now the rain has given way to the sun coming out. That's Trinity College over there. We walked past that earlier. We'll get a nice view of it right here. Heading back out to Hoskin Ave by Queen's Park. So I can't go either way without repeating somewhere where I previously walked through, so this is where I'm going to wrap things up after a fairly thorough walking tour through the U of T campus. We didn't cover every street, of course, but we certainly did get a look at the main ones. And a fair share of those beautiful walking paths with all the lovely mature trees. And it was quite busy at times walking through campus today. So leave a comment below if you enjoyed the tour of the largest and most prestigious university in Canada. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button down below. And you can also become a channel member if you wish. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all my channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.